Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Healing Hearts Productions, I'll be your host for today. My name is Claudia Coons. I'm filling in for your regular host, Wanda Page. And today we have here Miss Paulette Merdey, who I will be interviewing, and we will be speaking about future grads. Welcome, Miss Merdey.
Thank you.
Okay. Miss Merdey, could you tell us a little bit about yourself in detail, where you were born, raised, and a little bit about your educational background and so forth?
Sure. I was born in Kingston, Jamaica. I'm sure you probably heard of Jamaica,
Yes.
Kingston. In fact, whenever someone asks me where I'm from in Jamaica and I mentioned Kingston, they ask me what part of Kingston because they want to make sure, right? And say a lot of people tend to say they're from Kingston. Well, the truth is I'm from Kingston, so no disputing that. Yeah, but I came here. My mom brought us here some umpteen years ago. Yes, and you know, as far as education, I went to a college called Plaza College. I'm not sure if you're familiar with
I've
Plaza.
never heard of it, no.
Okay, but yes, I did study accounting at Plaza College and got my associate's degree
Very good.
at Plaza. Yeah, and I actually was going to continue on in the accounting field, but then I decided to go into teaching. So I started to pursue my bachelor's at York College. There I started actually studying to become a Spanish. I wanted to teach Spanish. Yeah, so I started that. Then 3/4 into getting my degree, I decided I'm getting too old and I need to get out of school. So I had enough credits to graduate with my business administration degree, and so I chose to
Branch out there.
just take off, right? Yeah, so you know, that's my education, and I did a little theology at Bethel Bible Institute. Yeah, I did a few courses there. Yeah, but.
And where did you pursue it in any way, the Bible study classes, or it was just for your enhancement, personal enhancement?
It was because I am a person that really loves God, and my desire was to know more about God and to study His Word, and so that was my reasons for attending Bethel. It wasn't so much for pursuing, you know, another degree or anything like that, even though that's, you know, sophisticated and nice. And in the future, you know, I hope to continue on. However, my main reason for Bethel was to gain a greater understanding of, you know, who God is. Yeah, I really wanted to know and still want to know. I know we cannot know the fullness of God, but I do believe that there is just so much knowledge to gain that, you know, and how can you learn except there's a teacher? So. You know, I need to be taught. So that's why I went to Bethel. Yeah.
Okay, and it seems like you came from a large family, did you?
I seem like I came from a large. How did you make that? How did you come to that conclusion? Anyway, I would say average. Yeah, average. Yeah. Not too big, not too small. No, average. Yeah.
Alrighty. So you frequently revisit Jamaica?
I would love to put my hands over my face in shame and say no. No, I haven't been to Jamaica. I haven't been to Jamaica since 1997, I believe. Yeah. So I know I'm ashamed. And hopefully I'll be visiting Jamaica sometime soon, I hope. Yeah.
Miss Merdey, could you, you've branched out into the future grads program. Could you give us some insight and depth on the whole
Sure.
program?
Yes, future grads.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
always happy to talk about
Okay.
future grads. Future grads is my passion. Future grads focuses on children, children whose parents have been deported or their parents are in prison. And for the most part, the imprisonment a lot of time has to do with immigration issues. And so future grads, we're about immigration, community, and of course education,
Okay,
right?
yes.
Yeah, so what we do, we've been trying since 2000, Future Grad started around 2000, and we have been trying to somehow put in place a system where the children that are being affected by this imprisonment or deportation can have some kind of stability, if I can use that word. It's so difficult for them, this trauma that they experience when their parents is sometimes snatched in the wee hours of the morning. A lot of times, you know, ICE might, you know, or if it's something to do with the law or the police officers, might just, you know, come and just basically
abruptly.
snatch the parents for whatever reason. You know, that's the law, whatever they're dealing with. But for the children, you know, what they can see is that their parents are being taken away. And you know, a lot of times it's without any kind of explanation. Sometimes it's a stranger that basically, you know, take these children if no one else is, you know, there to take them. It's a stranger that, you know, take these children, and a lot of times they get, you know, lost in the foster care system. So my heart and the heart of the directors of Future Grads, it's really with the children, mostly with the children. I mean, we empathize with the parents and so on, but some of the times it's like, you know, you're an adult. You know, the bottom line is you have children. Why would you want to, you know, put yourself in a situation, you know, to commit crimes and so on, you know, domestic violence and all of these things, when you know that the law is the law, and, you know, you're going to be arrested and you're going to be thrown in jail, in prison. And where are you going to put these children, subject these children to this kind of environment? It's not good. And so that's why we focus on the children, trying to help the children cope with this imprisonment. Sometimes, I must say, it's not, I mean, the circumstances almost impossible for the parents to control. And when I say that, as far as immigration, many children, as you know, are brought here, not by choice. They're brought here.
For a better life.
Yeah, for a better life, okay? And years later, they still do not have the necessary paperwork that requires them to be,
Here,
you know, a
legally.
legal resident in the United States. And here they are, you know, we're all human, you know, we go on with our lives and we have these children, or, you know, we do whatever we want to do. But the bottom line is, a lot of these circumstances that these parents find themselves in, they had no control over it, you know, from the beginning. So what are they going to do? You know, take off and go to another country that they know nothing about and leave their children? You know, it's yeah. So I'm just saying that some of these situations cannot be controlled. I don't know if I should say cannot be controlled, but it's difficult to try to control. And so, you know, these children basically end up getting a bad rap, you know, for adult choices.
Are they,
you know,
put in shelters? Well, let's say something like that happens. Are they?
No, children are not usually placed in shelters. When it comes to shelters, usually it's the parents. Say, for example, a parent might find themselves in a difficult situation where they cannot afford rent, they're being abused. They might opt to take the children to a shelter. So it's usually the parent's decision to take the child to the shelter. as far as the foster care system, that's actually different from the shelter. So if no one's available to take care of the children, they might be placed in the foster care system.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Let's
that's
say
kind of different.
the parent was deported or so forth, and they were somehow awarded the opportunity to come back in the United States and reclaim their status as a resident or citizen or whatever. How do they would they be able to get the opportunity to get the child back out of custody from the foster care easily, or are there much problems? Do they get them at all? Do they get them back?
That's a very difficult question, because every situation is different, and I do not work with the foster care system. I mean, I was a part of the foster care system, but I don't work directly with the foster care system, so I'm not too familiar with their the process and so on. But I should think if the child is not already given up for adoption, because this is what happens sometimes. The child might be placed in the foster care system for a while, but the court might make the determination that that child can be adopted, right? So, if that child is adopted and the parents come back, I should think it's very difficult for them to even find the child, because sometimes the names, they change the names and so on. So I should think it's difficult, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, but again, that's the court system. So, I don't want to venture into areas that I have no knowledge. Yeah.
So how long have you been with Future Graduates?
2000.
2000.
Yeah. Future Grads. We started around 2000.
Do you see yourself staying with Future Grads?
Oh, I'll always be with Future Grads. Yeah, I'll always be with Future Grads, as long as people continue to commit crime, as long as there is deportation, as long as we have communities.
Right,
there will always be Future Grads, because these children will always need our help.
Most of these children, Black, Hispanic, or Caucasian?
You know what? I tend to see a mixture. I mean, I can't sit here and give you a percentage of how many. But I see that these areas of imprisonment or deportation seem to affect not just Black or Hispanic.
Okay.
It's all across the board. It affects everybody. Yeah.
Okay. You spoke about, I wanted you to give me a specific example of one of the children's situation, whether it was via deportation, arrest, or an example of any of a child per se, the trauma that they went through a particular situation and the outcome of it.
Well, we have a situation we're dealing with right now, and it's not actually a child. He's now an adult, yeah?
Okay.
But the process started when he was a child. And this kid, and this is an opportunity where I would love to really reach out to the young people, because I'm going to give you an example of why I'm so committed to Future Grads. I had a young man that came to one of our forums, and this young man, his dad was deported. Now his mother is here, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, as a teenager, you would think that because his father is deported, he would try to stand up and, be the man of the house and so on. But what I have seen happen in these cases, is that once one of the parent is taken away, a lot of time